Welcome to a new video. Russia operates some of the most brutal prison facilities ever constructed on Earth. These institutions hold the most dangerous criminals alive today. The guards who work in these places witness suffering and despair every single day. The inmates trapped inside these concrete walls face conditions that destroy the human mind and body. Some facilities sit in frozen wastelands where temperatures kill unprotected humans in minutes. Other prisons pack hundreds of diseased prisoners into spaces designed for 10 people. The methods used in these institutions break even the strongest criminals within months. Today, we will show you 4 of these prisons and the real conditions inside their walls. Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Before we start, also like the video. Deep in the Arctic Circle, far north of civilization, one prison facility stands alone in the frozen wilderness. This institution houses the worst killers and terrorists in all of Russia. The journey to reach this place requires 3 full days of travel. First, a long train ride departs from Moscow heading north. Then a bus drives for hours through empty, frozen landscapes. The final stretch passes through territories so cold that even polar bears cannot survive the winter temperatures. The thermometers at this location register negative 50 degrees Celsius during the coldest months. The wind cuts through clothing and exposed skin freezes within minutes. The Russian government built this facility in this exact location for one specific purpose. The environment itself becomes part of the punishment. The entrance to this prison displays a large concrete sculpture of an owl. The massive bird stands at the main gate, staring at everyone who enters. The prison earned its unofficial name from this sculpture and from the killing cold that surrounds the buildings. The guards call this place the Polar Owl. The official designation is Penal Colony Number 18. The prisoners held inside these walls committed the most horrific crimes imaginable. Serial killers who murdered dozens of victims live here. Political terrorists who bombed buildings and killed innocent civilians serve their sentences in these cells. Hardened gang leaders who ordered executions and torture occupy the isolation blocks. One prisoner in this facility achieved international fame for his crimes. Alexander Pichushkin killed more than 60 people over many years in Moscow. Investigators discovered that he wanted to kill 64 victims total. This number would fill every square on a chessboard. Newspapers named him the chessboard killer. Judges sentenced him to life imprisonment in solitary confinement. After arriving at the Polar Owl, Pichushkin told guards he would prefer death over spending his remaining years in this frozen prison. The daily routine at this facility destroys the human spirit through calculated psychological methods. The guards designed every rule to create maximum mental suffering. Prisoners must stand upright in their cells from morning until night. Sitting on the bed is forbidden. Lying down is prohibited. The concrete floor offers no comfort. The metal bed frame remains empty and unused. Only when the lights shut off at 10 o'clock in the evening can prisoners finally rest their bodies on the thin mattresses. This rule continues every single day without exception. The human body was not designed to stand motionless for 16 hours. The legs swell. The joints ache. The back muscles cramp and spasm. Yet the punishment for sitting down results in even worse consequences. Each prisoner receives 90 minutes of exercise time per day. The guards lead inmates one by one to a concrete box built specifically for this purpose. Metal bars cover the top of this box completely. The walls rise high on all sides with no gaps or openings. Guards walk back and forth on the bars above the prisoner below. Their boots create loud metallic sounds with each step. The prisoner walks in circles beneath them like an animal in a cage. The sky appears only as small fragments between the iron bars. After 90 minutes, the guards return the prisoner to the cell. This routine repeats every single day without variation. The prison holds no cafeteria or common areas. Prisoners never gather in groups. No sense of community exists inside these walls. Most cells contain only one prisoner. A few cells hold 2 inmates. These cellmates can speak to each other, but only in whispers. Loud conversation is forbidden. The guards monitor all sounds through listening devices. Any violation results in immediate punishment. Family members can visit prisoners at the Polar Owl, but the bureaucratic process and the difficult journey prevent most visits. The prison administration requires extensive paperwork submitted months in advance. The 3-day trip from Moscow costs thousands of rubles. Many families cannot afford this expense. Most prisoners receive only 1 visit per year. Some prisoners never see their families again after the iron doors close behind them. The security measures at the Polar Owl prevent any possibility of escape. Each cell has 3 separate iron doors. 5 layers of metal fencing surround the entire compound. 20 trained Caucasian shepherd dogs patrol the grounds day and night. These dogs weigh more than 70 kilograms each. Their jaws can crush human bones. The guards trained them to attack anyone who moves near the fences. In 2011, one prisoner attempted to escape during his daily exercise period. He had hidden a piece of broken iron in his clothing for weeks. When the guard opened the door to the exercise box, the prisoner jammed the metal piece into the lock mechanism. He climbed the fence before the guard could react. His hands bled as he gripped the sharp wire. He reached the top and jumped down to the other side. The alarm sounded immediately. The dogs reached him within seconds. They attacked his legs and arms and dragged him to the ground. The guards pulled the animals away, but the prisoner had suffered massive injuries. The bones in his left arm were shattered. His right leg required amputation below the knee. The authorities placed him in solitary confinement as additional punishment. Medical staff reported he died 3 months later from infected wounds. After this incident, the administration installed additional security cameras and added more dogs to the patrol. No successful escape has ever occurred from the Polar Owl. In the center of Moscow, another infamous prison operates under very different conditions. This facility sits in the Tverskoy district, surrounded by normal city buildings. Office workers and shoppers walk past the high walls every day. While the Polar Owl tortures prisoners with deadly cold, this prison destroys inmates through unbearable heat. During summer months, the temperature inside the cells rises above 40 degrees Celsius. The thick stone walls trap the heat inside. No air conditioning exists. Small windows provide minimal ventilation. Prisoners sweat constantly. Dehydration becomes a daily danger. This prison has operated for more than 3 centuries. The current buildings were constructed in 1879. Throughout Russian history, this facility held revolutionaries and political dissidents. People who opposed the government disappeared behind these walls. Today, the prison still houses terrorists and enemies of the state. The name of this institution is Butyrka Prison. Butyrka holds the distinction of being the most overcrowded prison in all of Russia. Cells designed for 10 prisoners now hold 100 inmates. The bodies pack together so tightly that prisoners cannot lie down to sleep. They take turns resting in shifts. Some men sleep standing upright, leaning against the walls. The air inside these cells becomes thick and difficult to breathe. The smell of unwashed bodies and human waste fills every space. Fights break out constantly over the smallest disagreements. A prisoner who takes too much space or breathes too loudly can trigger violence. The overcrowding has created a deadly health crisis inside Butyrka. More prisoners die from disease than from violence. Tuberculosis spreads rapidly through the packed cells. The bacteria travel through the air when infected prisoners cough. Every inmate breathes the same contaminated air day and night. The transport vans that move prisoners between facilities serve as perfect breeding grounds for the disease. Guards pack 30 or 40 men into vans designed for 10 people. The journey can last several hours. By the time the van reaches its destination, healthy prisoners have inhaled tuberculosis bacteria from sick inmates. AIDS has also become epidemic inside Butyrka. Many prisoners use illegal drugs. They inject heroin and other substances using shared needles. The prison provides approximately 1 needle for every 100 drug users. This guarantees the spread of HIV and hepatitis. Infected prisoners slowly die from AIDS complications while still serving their sentences. The medical facilities at Butyrka cannot treat these diseases properly. Medicine remains in short supply. Doctors refuse to work in the prison due to low pay and dangerous conditions. Some observers believe the Russian government allows these diseases to spread intentionally. Prisoners serving life sentences will die from illness before completing their terms. This reduces the prison population without requiring executions or early releases. Moving east from Moscow toward the Ural Mountains, the landscape changes to dense forests and remote villages. In the Perm Krai region near the city of Solikamsk, another brutal prison facility operates in near-complete secrecy. This institution was established in 1938 during the Stalin era. The original purpose was to hold political prisoners and religious leaders who opposed communist rule. Priests and monks filled the cells. Many died from torture and starvation. In 1999, the Russian government converted this facility into a maximum security prison for inmates sentenced to life imprisonment. Only the most dangerous criminals receive transfers to this location. The architecture of this prison uses white painted concrete for all exterior and interior walls. The brightness of the white surfaces creates a strange contrast with the darkness of the purpose these walls serve. This visual element, combined with a specific torture technique used during prisoner movement, gave the facility its unofficial name. Guards call this place the White Swan. The official designation is Penal Colony Number 2. When prisoners must move from their cells to other areas of the facility, guards force them to adopt a specific body position. The prisoner must bend forward at the waist until the upper body reaches a 90-degree angle with the legs. The guards handcuff the prisoner's hands behind the back. Then they force the arms upward toward the ceiling, while the body remains bent forward. This position resembles the shape of a swan, with its neck extended. The human body was not designed to maintain this position. The shoulder joints experience extreme stress. The lower back muscles strain and tear. Guards force prisoners to walk in this position through long hallways. Some prisoners pass out from the pain. Others suffer permanent damage to their shoulders and spine. This method serves no security purpose. The sole function is to cause suffering and demonstrate complete control over the prisoner's body. The isolation at the White Swan exceeds that of any other prison in Russia. Inmates have zero contact with the outside world. No radio broadcasts reach the cells, or no television programs are permitted. No visitors can enter the facility under any circumstances. Prisoners cannot make phone calls. Letters arrive months late after heavy censorship. The guards remove any sentences that mention current events or news from the outside. Many prisoners lose track of time completely. They cannot remember what year it is or how long they have been confined. This total separation from the world destroys hope. Without information from outside, prisoners cannot maintain any connection to their former lives. Family members age and die without the prisoner knowing. The authorities at the White Swan employ professional psychologists who work inside the prison full-time. These specialists do not provide mental health treatment to the prisoners. Instead, they analyze each inmate's personality and psychological weaknesses. The psychologists create detailed profiles documenting fears, triggers, and behavioral patterns. The administration uses this information to assign cellmates. They pair prisoners based on psychological compatibility. This prevents violent conflicts that could disrupt the facility. If two aggressive prisoners shared a cell, they would fight constantly. If a dominant prisoner shared space with a submissive one, abuse would occur. The psychologists calculate the optimal pairings to keep prisoners passive and defeated. Each prisoner receives 1 hour of walking time per day. The guards lead inmates to a small outdoor area surrounded by high concrete walls. The prisoner can walk back and forth in this space, breathing fresh air. After 60 minutes, the guards return the prisoner to the cell. Once per week, prisoners can take a shower lasting 10 minutes. Cold water pours from a metal pipe in the ceiling. No soap is provided. The prisoner must clean the body as well as possible in the limited time. Then guards escort the inmate back to the cell, where the routine continues unchanged day after day. The final prison on this list has earned a reputation as the most brutal facility in all of Russia. Hardened criminals who have survived other prisons break down mentally within months of arriving at this location. This institution was first constructed in 1745 during the time of the Russian Empire. The original purpose was hard labor. Prisoners worked in nearby mines extracting minerals for the government. Thousands of inmates died from exhaustion and accidents in those mines. The current buildings date from the Soviet era when the prison was expanded and modernized. A distinctive sculpture stands at the main entrance. Inmates at one time created a large black dolphin using concrete and metal. This artwork gave the facility its unofficial name. Guards and prisoners call this place the Black Dolphin. The official designation is Penal Colony Number 6. The population at the Black Dolphin consists entirely of cannibals, pedophiles, terrorists, and mass murderers. These prisoners committed crimes so horrific that other criminals refuse to associate with them. No prisoner at the Black Dolphin will ever return to society. Every inmate has received a life sentence. They will die inside these walls. The guards and administration know this fact. They treat the prisoners accordingly. 2 specific inmates at the Black Dolphin gained attention for the extreme nature of their crimes. The first man is named Vladimir Nikolaev. He killed a friend during a drunken argument at his apartment. After beating the man to death, Nikolaev experienced a psychotic break. He dismembered the body using kitchen knives. He cooked portions of the human flesh and ate the meat over several days. When the meat began to spoil, Nikolaev decided to sell the remaining portions to his neighbors. He told them the meat came from kangaroo. Several neighbors purchased the meat and served it to their families. When police discovered the truth, the neighborhood erupted in horror and rage. Judges sentenced Nikolaev to life imprisonment at the Black Dolphin. The second inmate is Alexander Masich. He was originally imprisoned at a different facility for murder. While serving his sentence, Masich killed his cellmate. He strangled the man during the night while the victim slept. Then Masich dismembered the body and ate portions of the flesh over several weeks. He stored body parts under his mattress and in hiding places around the cell. The smell eventually alerted guards, who discovered the remains. The authorities immediately transferred Masich to the Black Dolphin, where he will remain until his death. The security measures at the Black Dolphin exceed those of any other prison on Earth. The facility employs 900 guards to control approximately 700 prisoners. This means more guards work at the facility than inmates are held there. Every guard remains constantly alert to prevent any incident. The cells at the Black Dolphin use a unique design called cells within cells. A traditional barred cell surrounds each inmate. Then, a solid concrete wall with a small window surrounds that barred cell. Guards can observe prisoners through the windows, but inmates cannot see into the hallway. Bright lights illuminate every cell 24 hours per day. The lights never shut off. Sleep becomes difficult, and irregular. Cameras monitor every movement. Guards watch the video feeds constantly, looking for any violation of rules. When prisoners must move through the facility, guards place a blindfold over the inmates' eyes. This prevents prisoners from seeing the layout of the hallways and rooms. A prisoner who knows the building design might plan an escape attempt. The blindfold eliminates this possibility. Guards also force prisoners into stress positions during movement, similar to the white swan technique. The combination of the blindfold and painful body position ensures complete helplessness. The daily routine at the Black Dolphin matches the brutality of the polar owl. Prisoners must stand upright from morning until night. Sitting is forbidden. Lying down is prohibited, except during designated sleep hours. Guards enter each cell every 15 minutes to verify the prisoner remains standing. An inmate caught sitting receives immediate punishment, including the loss of exercise time and food rations. The diet at the Black Dolphin consists of thin soup and stale bread 4 times per day. The same meal repeats every single day for the entirety of the life sentence. The soup contains minimal nutrition. Prisoners slowly lose weight and muscle mass. Their bodies deteriorate over the years. The bread often contains mold, but prisoners must eat it or starve. No cafeteria exists. No common dining area brings prisoners together. Each inmate eats alone in the cell. The metal food tray is pushed through a small slot in the door. The prisoner has 10 minutes to consume the food. Then guards retrieve the empty tray. No exercise yard exists at the Black Dolphin. No outdoor recreation is permitted. Instead, prisoners can request time in a large indoor cage. This cage sits in a room with concrete walls and a concrete ceiling. Bars create a box inside this room. The prisoner enters the cage and can walk back and forth for 1 hour. No sunlight enters this space. No fresh air circulates. The prisoner simply paces in the artificial light until the guards return him to the cell. Documentary film crews have visited the Black Dolphin and recorded footage of the conditions. These videos show hardened criminals crying openly during interviews. Men who killed dozens of victims express regret and beg for mercy. Some prisoners admit they deserve their punishment, but plead for small improvements in conditions. Others have lost all hope and sit silent, staring at nothing. The psychological impact of the Black Dolphin breaks even the strongest minds within a few months. The combination of constant standing, sleep deprivation from the bright lights, monotonous food, total isolation, and the knowledge that death is the only escape creates unbearable mental anguish. The administration at the Black Dolphin does permit 4 family visits per year. This exceeds the single visit allowed at the Polar Owl. Prisoners can also work in sewing workshops or wood shops to earn small amounts of money. This money can purchase extra food items from the prison store. These small mercies exist not out of kindness, but to prevent total mental collapse. Prisoners who maintain minimal hope remain easier to control than those who have nothing left to lose. These 4 facilities represent the reality of punishment inside Russian prisons. The Polar Owl uses deadly cold and forced standing to break prisoners in the Arctic wilderness. Butyrka destroys inmates through overcrowding and deadly diseases in the center of Moscow. The White Swan employs total isolation and psychological manipulation to eliminate all hope. The Black Dolphin combines all these methods, creating the most brutal prison environment ever designed. The criminals held in these places committed terrible crimes. The victims and their families deserve justice. However, the conditions in these facilities exceed punishment and enter the realm of systematic torture. The human body and mind were not designed to endure such treatment. Prisoners who survive for decades in these places emerge as broken shells of their former selves. Some die from disease or suicide before their sentences end. Others simply wait for death, knowing it will eventually release them from their concrete cages. Have you heard about these prisons before? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we have made, click one on the screen, or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.